And welcome to the show, everybody. Make sure to smash the like button when you get here because it pisses off uh, the YouTube algorithm and whatever. It gives me feedback, and I like that. A second ago, I had one viewer, and they vanished. I don't know if that means they're a fed or somebody who mistimed the intro music, or somebody who decided, oh, you know what? I'm not interested in anything that guy says. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the show, or most people welcome to the show. I guess I gotta start exercising more quality control. Like, I threatened to do that when I first started this. When I restarted this channel after getting hacked by the NSA and Google fucking me over and my Bitcoin getting lost and all that shit. So I threatened to like ban all sorts of people that I haven't quite banned yet. Like, I banned Bob Paxson. I found a way to ban him. If I go on my phone to previous streams and then look in the chat and then I see him and I can hit block. So I could block people, but somehow I can't do that from here, from my dashboard and the control panel, which I should be able to do, but I can't do. So whatever. I will limp along and improvise as I go, because listen, what is this show if it is not extemporaneous and improvisational, right? Today's Monday, February 6th, 7th. And it's another chill stream. So welcome to the show, everybody. Whoever shows up. Got stuff to talk about as per usual. Like, there's always something that pops up. I always have something to say. And, hopefully you're along for the ride. So what's going on? Let's do e-drama to begin with, because that hooks people in. It seems exciting. And, but it really, it isn't really, but there's a kid who is I used to subscribe to his channel on YouTube, but I don't subscribe to him anymore. I unsubscribed. I left in a huff. But like every airport, you don't need to announce your departure, right? In the airport, you don't need to. You must announce your departure, but we're not in the airport, so I didn't announce my departure. But there's a kid who used to clip me back in the day from England. His name is Stephen J. James, and so I'm posted on his in the comments on his channel. Like, a couple of times I went overboard, and some other people pulled me back. But so this kid Stephen J. James is like, well, yeah, I heard James's take, STFU James's take, that this hot take, right? Because a hot take means like an overly dramatic, emotional first impression about Norvin, right? Talk about Norvin Hobbs. So he's like, yeah, I heard that hot take, but I'm not convinced. That's what he wrote on one of his videos from like a couple of days ago, 3-4 days ago, something like that. And I sat there and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This was a kid, like I said, he used to clip me back in the day. And 2 years ago, there was a stream. I was like, me, that guy Gandalf, Brundlefly was on, and some other people. And this title of the stream is literally titled Patrick Bateman Exposed, right? And it's a clip that got 1,500 views, which is more views than Stephen J. James gets on any fucking thing, on any 100 fucking videos he makes, right? So anyway, he clips this thing that I was on, and that's that. It's literally on his channel, Patrick Bateman Exposed. So, I pointed out that Norvin and Bateman are best buddies right now online, and Stephen J. James says, well, I'm not convinced. Oh, you're not convinced? Okay. I don't give a fuck to convince you, by the way. But understand this, like, and Stephen J. James seems like a nice kid. He got jumped way back in the day when he was a teenager, put in the hospital, really bad beating. And now he does like, Thai boxing. So he punches and kicks people, and they punch and kick him in the head. Jonathan Paul, welcome to the show. So Stephen J. James is like, I'm not 100% convinced about Norvin. Well, I don't know. Take a look at this screenshot, right? Because I got the fucking receipts on what I'm talking about, right? I have the receipts. I'm not standing here making some fucking organizations. Got the screenshots, you know? These are the screenshots. And so this was 2 weeks ago when I was on the Patrick Bateman stream. That the channel is called The Killing Fields, like the movie, that 1980s movie about Cambodia. And there's a couple of channels with that name, but the Bateman channel comes up as your top result, and it's got like 250 viewers, 225 subscribers. I mean, there's only 2 videos on it. So it's and the intro is a super slick video intro that looks like old 70s video about like Vietnam and dropping bombs and like scenes from like almost like Apocalypse Now. So that's when you go to the channel. That's what the video looks like. You click on The Killing Fields. Like I said, there's 2 videos. The one that I was on, right, which was the one, this is the screenshot where you see Norvin says, James, pick a fight with someone. I wasn't aware that I was on Patrick Bateman's stream. So I said, fuck it. I'll just beat the shit out of Bateman again for like the 87th fucking time, right? So that's what I do. And I fucking, again, beat Bateman, the homosexual drug addict from Tottenville, Staten Island, up and down the fucking internet. And amazingly, that stream is not up. That stream that I was on was not recorded, and you will not find it on the Killing Fields channel. I know you might find that, and you're amazed, like, really? Really? All these super free speech, edgy free speech types, who are willing to say, who are willing to name the Jew and who are willing to whatever, or, I don't know, drive the siege bus. Like, they're willing to do all that, but they're not willing to put up a stream where I fucking bitch smack fucking Patrick Bateman up and down the internet. That one somehow went down the memory hole. I don't know what happened, but it's not there, right? So there it is, right? So the message at one point, pick a fight with somebody, and then he's like, oh, that was Pat's show. And you could see I respond like, you cuck for Bateman. And how does Norvin respond? Just look at his response and tell me that's a normal response. Like, thank you for showing up. Always fun having you on. Like, what is this fucking NBC? Is this the Jay Leno show? Where the fuck does this come from? You know what I mean? This bizarre, robotic, fucking, formal response, right? And then what does he do? He promotes fucking Bateman's channel again, right? There it is. The screenshot, have the receipts, as they say, right? So when you say it's my hot take, it's a hot take. James's hot take, because he's crazy and emotional and he's not real thoughtful and deep and logical like us fucking English Thai boxer dudes. And so he's, implying that that I don't think deeply enough, or I'm not fact-based enough to fucking to validate what I say. Hey, you know what, kid? Here's the fucking receipt. So Stephen J. James, I know he as a subscriber to this channel, unsubscribe right now, motherfucker. This ain't no Thai boxing match. I didn't come to spar with you, right? I didn't get it. I don't get in the fucking ring, to work on my timing and my fucking speed. You know what I mean? I don't do punchy kicky dance around, punchy kicky dance around. That's not what I fucking do. I come to fucking kill people. You know what I mean? I come to fucking assassinate you. I come to destroy you, your argument, everything you ever thought and fucking believed. That's what I come to do, right? I'm not here to fucking play. I want to destroy you. I will fucking slay you on the altar of fucking perfect argument, right? Because God gave me the fucking argument skill, and he gave you the ability to get kicked in the head by a fucking Chinaman because you ain't really that bright. Unsubscribe from this fucking channel right now, kid, because this ain't for you, right? This ain't for you. Go with the channel that has Richard Spencer and Patrick Bateman and Norvin and what's the Jew broad's name? Brittany the Jewish girl, Brittany the non-Jewish girl. Go be a fucking NPC in a federal fucking drama, in shitty federal fucking theater, right? Shit tier federal theater. Go be an NPC there. Go in the chat and you see like all these people with wrenches in the chat, names you never heard of, fucking people you never fucking heard of, wrenched up in this fucking chat, right? And they're driving the conversation this way and that way. Go be an NPC. Go stand there in the audience and give them fucking legitimacy, right? And let me tell you something, kid. People in your country, in fucking Britain, have been arrested for tweets, right? And you go, well, the FBI can't arrest me in England. You're right. The FBI can't arrest you in England. But I wouldn't be super surprised if the FBI could give the fucking whatever intel they gather, or the NSA gathers, right? And hand it over to special branch or fucking, or what is it? What do they call the old bill? What do they call the police force over there? The old bill. And the old bill will throw you in the nick of time, right? That's what they say in England for getting put in prison, right? In the nick. And let me tell you, kid, they ain't going to let you have the fucking turtles, and they ain't going to let you have the little schnauzer dog in prison. And you want to fight? You'll fight plenty in prison. You will fight plenty in prison. Okay? So cheers, you dumb fuck. Because on your own fucking channel, there's a video called, like I said, Patrick Bateman Exposed. And here's the thing about why you're all dishonest, stupid fucking cunts, and I despise you, and I have nothing but contempt for you. Because when I'm fucking wrong, and like I said, I'm the only guy who's ever fucking wrong on the internet, right? I'm the only guy who's wrong. I'm the only guy who acts like an asshole. I'm the only guy who gets drunk and fucking acts like a fucking fool. None of you do any such fucking thing like I do, right? And you're all superior to me, except none of you cocksuckers would ever get in the fucking ring with me and argue about anything, because I'll fucking destroy you. I will fucking destroy you. You will put your head in the fucking oven and turn on the fucking gas and gas yourself when I'm fucking done with you. I have no sympathy for mentally ill fucking children. I have none, right? Maybe the reason why you're attracted to me is because there was mental illness in my family history, and you think, oh, I have sympathy for you. No, I know that you're diseased. Your fucking brain is diseased and fucking wrong. So I'm just going to fucking beat you like a fucking redheaded stepchild. Okay? Which is what you deserve. And it's probably more attention than you even fucking deserve, because you don't deserve the fucking attention that you're getting. But do yourself a favor, kid. Unsubscribe from this channel. By the way, what the fuck is going on? Last video gets 60 views. 60 views on a fucking channel with 49 subscribers. It means people are sharing this fucking videos. I'm not 100% kosher with that, because there's now like 70 something videos on this channel. Sooner or later, either this is going to come, someone's going to fall into a Fed fucking folder or whatever, or someone's going to be offended because I said Dindu, or I said tortilla American, or I said fucking chopstick American, or whatever. They're going to be like, oh my God, he said the thing you're not allowed to say. And they're going to report me to fucking YouTube, and this channel gets fucking wiped like my last channel gets wiped, which I would prefer that to not happen. It's like, whatever, like 80 to 150 fucking hours I'm sitting in front of a camera, right? Trying to fucking tell people shit. To have to get wiped out like this, I'm not in the mood for that. So I'm not in the mood for the fucking channel to grow. You're not thoughtful about who you share this with. And, don't get me wrong. The government's got my fucking number 6 ways to fucking Sunday. You know what I mean? That's no surprise about that. But there's no need for some fucking candy ass motherfucker to fucking, to be offended because of what I said, because I did free speech and they didn't like the combination of words. I didn't put the combination of words in the exact right way to fucking avoid offending them. So, they're going to fucking report me to Google, and then this channel gets wiped out. It's a lot of fucking time I sit here. You know what I mean? It's an effort. I have to get drunk. I have to sit down. There's a bunch of things I have to do. So, Don't overshare. Okay. Don't overshare. By the way, greatest fucking title. This is the thing. I love this title, right? This is the dumbest fucking title. It's like literally this title is an entire non sequitur, right? What I'm on this week so far. I get that from that sports ball guy who does he tweets shit like that, and I'm like, I don't even know what he's talking about. And he lists the football games. He's like, what I'm on this week, and then in parentheses, so far. It's like New York versus San Diego, Dallas versus Minnesota, and I'm like, what the fuck? What is he even talking about? He's talking about betting football. And I'm like, I don't know why the so far in parentheses is like, oh yeah, there could be more. There could be more games he's betting. Like, what are you even talking about? But we're in an era where, especially on YouTube, where somebody makes a video, then somebody makes a reaction video to that video, then someone makes a reaction video to the reaction video of the reaction video. You know what I mean? This one reacts to this fucking. Get the fuck out of here with this shit. So in the endless, your head is like buzzing with fucking. It's like foaming, and there's nothing but fucking air bubbles in your fucking skull, and you don't know what to think anymore. So there's like, what's the subtext? And then somebody puts something in parentheses. So far, you're like, oh yeah, there's an important subtext there I need to understand. And you click on it. So this is just a clickbait title. That's all it really is a clickbait title, and we'll see how well it works. I'll look in a couple of days, see if I get 60 views for this retarded fucking title, and that'll be fucking great. That would be absolutely great. My viewers went from fucking 4 down to 1. How is that even possible? I offended people that quickly, 35 seconds? Get the fuck out of here. I don't believe it for 2 seconds. So, all right. Yeah, what do we got? Yeah, banning people. I banned Robert Paxson. I found a way to ban him. He's fucking gone. Listen, I said this when I first started the channel. I'm just going to swing the ban hammer like a motherfucker. And I didn't really do it. Like, I was lazy. But you know what? I'm also trying to focus on what I'm going to talk about, whatever, content, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not thinking about the kooky followers. But if you fucking get out of line, you're going to get smacked. That's it. That's all there is to it. And I really don't need you. You know what I mean? I know the type of content that most of the people in this most of the subscriber base pays attention to. I know the type of content you listen to, and I know what I'm doing, which is different. Motherfucker, I don't need you. You need me, because you're just hearing the same shit over and over again. The same retarded, fed bullshit over and over again. And if you ever want any sort of breath of fresh air, even though I'm offensive, you have to come here, right? So you don't need me. I mean, I would say I don't need you. You need me. That's the way it is. Also, I fucking skipped my afternoon coffee, so I had to take a shot of fucking. I don't take creatine that often, but I have the creatine powder. I had to bang down. I just threw it in the back of my throat and drank some water, because I've been day drinking a little bit. Fucking shit. You would think I would take my own advice, right? You're like, oh, you think you're so fucking smart, James? Why don't you take your own fucking advice? Well, because oftentimes people don't do that. I mean, I did end up doing it, but it cost me, right? There was a couple of 6 or 8 weeks ago, I was talking about my car, and there's one of the rims on my car is bent because I hit a fucking pothole, whatever. And it's a steel rim, right? So it's a 16-year-old Toyota car. That's the most popular car in America, or one of the most popular cars in America. The same wheels as the most popular car in America. And it's a steel rim, which is a shitty, cheap one that nobody wants. Everybody wants the shiny aluminum ones. I went to the junkyard. Hey, June, welcome to the show. I went to the junkyard 8 weeks ago, and I said, how much for a rim for 06 Toyota Matrix? And they said $80. And I'm like, fuck, I ain't paying $80. That's the kind of thing you pay $10 for. You know what I mean? Or at least they paid $10 for when I was a few years ago. They said, no, $80. I'm like, I'm not paying that. But there's a lit's wobble, and there's a vibration, because the rim is out of round, the blah, 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 blah. And I drive 1,800 miles a week. And so I was like, fuck, you know what? I'm going to go get the rim. So I decided to go get the rim. And as I'm approaching the place, I'm like, they're going to fucking charge me more. I just know it. I pull up there. I said, I need a rim for a 06 Matrix front wheel drive, 1.8 liter. The girl sits at the computer. She goes, she says, $126. I was like, what? $126? She goes, yeah, but. I was like, are you kidding me? I said, I was here like 6 weeks ago. You said $80. Oh, well, the price changes. Da, 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 da. She goes, you know what? Hold on. She goes, I'll give you a coupon. I'll give it to you for $106. So I said, yeah, I'll take it. Whatever the fuck. I'm going to buy it now. Like I talk about hyperinflation nonstop, right? But do I behave in a way like I believe hyperinflation is real? Obviously not in this case. I didn't. So I'm like, okay, yeah, fine. Here's my credit card. Pay for the thing. She goes, okay, we don't have it at this facility. Because the part's not that popular. It's like nobody needs it that much. We have it somewhere else. It'll be here on Wednesday. And I'm like, okay. So I'm paying 25% more than I would have paid 2 months ago for a used rusty steel rim for the most popular car in the United States. And you know what? If I didn't do it now, if I waited until actual spring, like fucking April, I probably would have paid $150 fucking dollars for it. So I talk about hyperinflation all the fucking time, but I'm not always, even in my life, even in things that affect me directly every day, I'm not always catching up to it, right? So you probably want to pay a lot more attention. Hello, June. Hello, my cream curdled in my coffee this morning. Yeah, stop trying to stretch it. Like, just listen, just dunk down the calories and don't. There's nothing worse than that. Like, that's a horrible feeling. You need your coffee first thing in the morning. You pour the milk in and the cream comes up the top, makes ugly little islands floating around. I was cooking today. This is an abnormally large bottle of Romanian white wine, which you can see I've already crushed a fair amount of it, but I used about 12 ounces for cooking. So, I was a little bit stoked before the show, but I'm not wasted. Yeah, listen, it's this is these things are going to be like more and more critical, and as you go forward, as prices go higher and higher and higher. Which, by the way, since my last, I did this thing like, Putin, he threatens the Federal Reserve note, the global reserve currency with Bitcoin, and blah 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 blah, right? And everybody's like, you're crazy, you're a retard, you're talking crazy nonsense, right? What did I cook? I cooked a dish called I can't say it in Greek, but it's pork with celery and leeks in avgolemono, and like an egg and lemon sauce. So it's like a pork stew. So you braise the pork. So it's like, of course, onions, garlic, right? You start with that. Then you braise the pork in the bottom of the pan. I use pork loin because it's cheapest, and then this thing has got a lot of liquid in it, so it makes it the pork very moist. And then you deglaze the pan with white wine. Put the onions, put the pork back in, and put it like a cup and a, cover it with chicken broth, right? Chop up some dill, throw some fresh dill in there, let it simmer for 40 minutes, and then chop up. I've used two leeks and an entire bunch of celery, including the leaves. Chop that up, threw it in there for another 20 minutes or so. Waited till everything is tender, shut the heat, took 2 eggs in a bowl, the juice of 1 lemon, the zest of 1 lemon, and tempered the eggs with some of the liquid from the pot, and then put it all in a pot and mix it up so it's a nice creamy, earthy, lemony, pork roasty white wine thing. It's actually pretty good. I wanted to make something else, but I couldn't find the right protein at the right size at the right price, so I went with the pork thing. It's funny because Paul is in the chat. He's like, I eat frozen dinners all the time. I don't want to cook. I actually like cooking. The idea that I can control everything that goes into my mouth and when it happens and how it happens, and I like that. That's better to me than being on the road and eating out of a paper bag, which is what I do most of the day. Um, so I really look forward to that. And that I got to eat fucking like I got to stop at a Sunoco station and like get fucking two hot dogs and a cup of coffee in fucking Maryland and pay $11 for that. Uh, and maybe like with a bag of chips. I'm like, wow, that sucks. But what am I going to do? I got deadlines to keep, and I got to keep moving. So that I can spend like the same amount of money on ingredients in the supermarket and make something that I really want to eat. That's like real food from with not the pre-processed junk. It's a big deal to me. Anyway, June, do I know how to cook? Yeah, my whole family cooked. Rather, I should say my father and my mother both cooked. My sister was always afraid of the box where the fire came out of in the kitchen, and my older brother was a retard. But yeah, both my parents cooked. So and then like I said again, because I'm on the road, always eating this fast food and stuff like that, to have something home cooked is like a big deal to me, and it's worth the effort. After spending 6 days eating garbage, so not that it's garbage. Listen, it's calories. It sustains life, but it's overpriced. It's low quality, and whatever it is, what it is. Try to improve my quality of life, because food is life, is it not? Are we wrong? So yeah, so the Putin thing, Putin threatens the Federal Reserve note by saying, hey, Russia has certain built-in advantages to mining Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at 36,000. Then I think we banged off 44,000 and change. We are, I think as the start of this show, we're at 43.9. So like a 15 or 16% pump since Putin threatened the USD. And if you think that that's a coincidence, you are not seeing things correctly. Smart people are going, wait a minute, yeah, we ought to do that. Smarter people than you, people who are willing to get ahead of this. Now, do they have the same worldview that I have? I don't know that they do per se, but there are indications that big players are staking a claim in this world and have been doing so for some time. Some of you might have heard of this company. It is Fidelity Investments. The Fidelity Investments, the largest mutual fund company in the United States and probably the world. Their head of sales, we started mining and accumulating Bitcoin in 2014. They didn't mention it. They didn't say they were doing that. They didn't say, hey, we're America's largest mutual fund company that sells you stocks and bond mutual funds, but we're buying all this equipment, and we're fucking we're mining this magic internet money that nobody believes in. They didn't tell you they were doing that in 2014, but they were doing that in 2014, and they have been doing it every day since. Do you get the sense that maybe you might want to do this? You might be looking at this and saying, well, I'm not a big corporate person. I don't have the kind of money that Fidelity Investments has. They have huge cash reserves, this and that. Yes, that's true. And that's part of what the FUD. That's part of the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that they're going to spread to your mind. Right? And they're doing this in every way they can, in every way they can. And you have to not believe a fucking word they say. You have to, in fact, you have to be like the old Soviet Union. Whatever you see in the fucking media, whatever you see in Pravda or Itar Tass, you have to think the exact opposite. And they're going to work you and they're going to work you and they're going to work you. And you have to understand you're being worked. This is a story from CBS Market Watch. Why is Bitcoin rallying 10% on Friday? Crypto clambers to perch above $40,000 following the jobs report. And so you see me, I circled something beneath that. Let's see, let's pull it up. Right there it is. Right, what I circled: opinion. Why do some people call Bitcoin a religion? Right. So this is part of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This makes you think this is not a Bitcoin is not for serious people. It's not an economic strategy to survive the future or even thrive in the future. No, it's a crazy religious cult. You don't want anything to do with it. And your friends at Market Watch are going to inform you that this insane fringe group that thinks Bitcoin is a religion. Now, I've pointed out a number of times, there are a lot of religious people in Bitcoin that think that God created Bitcoin to destroy the communists. And while I personally do not believe that, I can absolutely work with those people. Do you understand? My goal is to just peacefully and legally destroy the Federal Reserve note, right? And the central bankers who run the fucking world. That's my goal. Okay. And so if there are people who think that Jesus Christ invented Bitcoin to destroy the communists, yeah, dude, I can work with you. You know what I mean? As long as I don't have to buy into your worldview, I can get along with you. But when sites like CBS Market Watch describe Bitcoin as a religion, as some kind of crazy cult, especially when it pumps like 10% in a week, right? Vladimir Putin says, you cut me off from the US dollar, I'll mine Bitcoin. And then boom, Bitcoin pumps 10%. Do you really think that's a coincidence? Do you really think that's a coincidence? Because you got two groups of Jews. You got the small hats of Washington versus the small hats in Moscow. And the small hats in Washington are like, we're gonna destroy you. We're gonna cut you off from money forever. And the Russians got nothing. They have much more than they used to have back in the days, in the pre-Soviet times. But they still, if cut off from the U.S. dollar, their economy, which is only the size of Italy, would go to like the size of Albania. It would not be good. Even though Russia does have some things to flex chemical wise, and a few other things. But the small hats in Moscow are going, should we be vulnerable to those dudes in New York, or can we do something else? And Putin said the B word. He said Bitcoin, and they're like, maybe we get some of that, because there's a lot of billionaires, a lot of billionaires in Russia. They're all Jewish. And if they go, you know what, get me some of that, I don't know how that works. Bring that to me, whatever it is. I don't know. Bring it, bring it to me with my fucking matzah and my gefilte fish. Well, that's going to happen. And Bitcoin starts moving off of fucking exchanges, and like, who's buying it? Oh, the smart people in Russia. And other people start going, what does that mean? It means you should be selling a kidney to fucking buy Bitcoin. That's what it really means. The time is running out for you to sort of sit by and, right? Where is it? The time is running out for you to sit to think, oh, gee, I'll just watch longer and maybe someday I'll make a choice. No, you're going to have to start making choices. And like I said, when it comes to Bitcoin, you're going to buy Bitcoin, right? Or you'll work for Bitcoin, or you'll do something for Bitcoin. It's just the question of when, right? Will you do it now when it's advantageous to you, or will you do it 5 years from now when the choice is to starve and be homeless? Okay. More FUD, more fear, uncertainty, and doubt. from The Economist. Okay. What date? February 5th of this year. As long as Bitcoin and its ilk, but the word Bitcoin is the key here, are decentralized, the ability of the far right groups to use them will remain. Right? So the idea of decentralized is a Nazi idea. It's an evil right-wing idea, right? FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt. You need to read this in the exact opposite way that they say it, right? You're living essentially we're living in a global gulag, right? With the same people in charge, and every day that you go online, you see Itar and you see Pravda, right? And I talked to Russians way back in the early 90s who said, we learned to read the newspapers backwards. Whatever the headline was, we believe the exact opposite. So that's the way you have to be today with today's media, because the same people are in charge. So the more they tell you to run away from something, the more you should be running towards it. And don't ever listen to what they say, but only look at what they do. Only look at what they do, right? So here's another one. This one was pretty good. And this is this fits in with the current events. Our friends, the Leafs, the right-wing the Maple Mafia north of America's border, the Canucks, the crazy Canadians. Here it is. The Canadian company KPMG's, what is that? I gotta click here. Global organization of independent firms bought Bitcoin through Gemini, the exchange I use. That's fortuitous, for its corporate treasury. So KPMG is one of the 4 largest accounting firms on the face of this earth, the big 4. So there's an accounting firm that has decided they're going to add Bitcoin to their corporate treasury. They're going to let go of some cash and they're going to hang on to Bitcoin instead. Do you think that's a fucking coincidence? Do you think it's a coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence. And part of what they're going to tell you next is this. What they're going to tell you is, listen, Bitcoin is for corporations and millionaires, not for people like you. It's not even worth it. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting so little Bitcoin for your dollar. Don't even bother. Go over here, do this instead. And again, whatever they tell you to do, you should do the opposite. It's only for corporations. It's only for corporate treasuries and millionaires. You need to understand these sick, lying fucks are trying to keep you from having any sense of sovereignty or any sense of, or any protection from what's coming, right? So what I try to tell people, what I try to focus people on every fucking week is that the people that run the US dollar are evil and insane, okay? That they are essentially a global criminal cartel of counterfeiters, right? They counterfeit money or value, and they use that to buy real things of value. Fucking railroads, ports, fucking, whatever, farmland, anything that generates real money, you know what I mean? Or they loan it out so that you're in debt to them, right? They are counterfeiters, a global criminal cartel, right? Which is incorporated in the Federal Reserve Corporation, which is not federal and has no reserves. And everything they tell you to do is not to your benefit. They have never once told you anything to your benefit. Never. Following their advice has never been good for you or your progeny or your posterity. So you should probably do the opposite. And when I'm telling you they're evil and insane, and they're going to run the green pieces of paper that you call money to zero, right? I'm accurate in this. I don't know what the exact timeline is, but it's going to happen. And some smart people, Tesla, a few other, right? What's his name? Elon Musk, bought Bitcoin. All these high profile people will start going, you know what? I don't entirely want all this cash. Let's trade some of this cash. They're step by step tiptoeing towards Bitcoin, and you got to wonder why that is. You have to wonder, like, well, hey, these are smart people, why are they doing this? And the reason why they're doing this is because they know that the Federal Reserve note is fucked up. Now, speaking of Canada, right? You got the trucker protest up in Ottawa, Canada. Big deal. There, a bunch of people sent money to GoFundMe to make sure that the truckers have diesel and food and this, that, and the other. And GoFundMe decided to steal $9 million of the $10 million or something like that. Right? Once again, trusted third parties. Okay. So the news item from the other day, February, Fox News highlighted that people are now donating Bitcoin to the protesters, the protesting truckers, as after GoFundMe suspended their campaign. So here's the thing, like way back in the day, Go Fraud Me is right, June. Way back in the day when I first got into Bitcoin, I would read, I try to read all these fucking message threads. And no matter what happened, somebody would post this. They would say, this is good for Bitcoin. This is good for Bitcoin. And I'm like, I saw it so many times. I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know why they say that. It got annoying. But as crazy and as irritating as it is, in the long run, you have to understand people are going to stumble, are going to make mistakes, right? So GoFundMe, the mask dropping from GoFundMe, and you see that they are a fraudulent company. That's literally going to steal multiple millions of dollars from Americans. When they wake up to this, they're like, hey, wait a minute. And when we say that's good for Bitcoin, because that doesn't move you 100% into the Bitcoin camp, but it moves you one step closer, right? We would hope, and again, the purpose of this channel is as quickly as you can come to where I am or where many of us are. But everyone has their psychological issues. You know what I mean? Everyone has their emotional issues. When the price of Bitcoin was $69,000, which is like 3 months ago, everybody's like, oh my God, it's too expensive. It's too expensive. $70,000. I don't have $70,000 in my pocket. I just can't throw $70,000 at this. Then when the price goes down to, what did it hit, 33 or 36? Oh, it's a failure. Look at that. The price is down. It's a failure. Okay. If you cannot price a revolution. You can't, right? This is a revolution in money and a number of other things. You cannot put a price tag on it. Oh, this is the correct, too low of a price. This is too high of a price. You can't do that. No one's ever done that, and you sure as fuck can't do that, right? You either believe that the people who control the Federal Reserve Corporation are honest, good, moral people who will see the error of their ways, and they will shrink the money supply, therefore increasing the value of each dollar, therefore bringing down prices of food and fuel and everything else. And they'll institute a series of policies to put a check on the middleman managers so they won't rip off renters and this and that. Maybe you believe that's going to happen. Maybe you think if you vote for Ron DeSantis, that's going to happen. Or if you vote for whoever the fuck runs against Ron DeSantis or whatever, or Donald Trump is going to come back. Maybe you think that's going to happen. Perhaps that's your worldview. I think that that's a wildly unrealistic worldview, right? But it might be the way you see things. I see things differently, and Bitcoiners see things differently. We don't think any of these people can be trusted. They're all corrupt, evil, and immoral, and they're going to do whatever it takes to hang on to power and keep themselves at the top. So voting is stupid, right? Joining a political movement or getting upset that this political movement succeeds and that political movement fails is just as stupid. It's all temporary bullshit, What you need to do is protect yourself and your family the best way you can. If you think it means buying shiny gold discs or silver discs, good luck with that, right? If you think you're going to be riding a fucking horse to the town square to fucking buy, I don't know, whatever the fuck they sell in of Okefenokeyville, and you think that that's what the future is going to look like, that the future is going to look like 250 years ago? I don't think so. But again, that's your belief. You want to believe that? You go ahead and believe that. But the 21st century is going to look like the 21st century. It's going to look like what I describe, a high-tech digital citadel, a controlled area where you're not allowed in and you're not allowed out unless certain criteria are met, right? And you have to work to meet that criteria. Now, what's that going to look like? It's probably going to look a lot like white supremacy in a lot of places, or at least the better ones. You know what I mean? And the wild open ones, are going to look like fucking shit. And that's just going to happen. Like I talked about the Supreme Court Justice, a poll tweeted about this. One of the leading contenders for the Biden administration's Supreme Court nominees is half Jewish, half black, half Jewish, right? So they don't want to lose a full 100% Jew off the court. They got to get at least a Michelin in there. You know what I mean? And I don't want that. I want fucking Aunt Jemima. I want fucking Nicki Minaj. That's who I want. Like Nicki Minaj, the big boobed rapper lady who was against the fucking vax mandate because her cousin's testicles swelled up after he got the shot. Yeah, I'll take Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg, Nicki Minaj. There's a couple of based. I want a black woman whose ass is this fucking wide to get stuck in the door of the Supreme Court because the small hats want to increase the Supreme Court from 9 to 12 or 14 or whatever the fuck they need to overcome the Constitution. The whole point is they need to overcome the Constitution, right? They have to overwhelm the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, et cetera, et cetera. And the perfect example of this is that kid in Minneapolis that just got shot. What the kid's name? Amir something or other. Okay, there was video of this on Twitter. Minneapolis, where Derek Chauvin, right, put handcuffs on George Floyd, a crackhead. He put handcuffs on a crackhead in broad daylight and laid him on the ground and ended up going to prison for 20 years for murder, right? Minneapolis. The Minneapolis SWAT team was serving a no-knock warrant, right? So they don't have to announce themselves. They're in an apartment building. They have the key. They go in to an apartment, okay? 3, 4, 5 SWAT guys with the lights on their fucking long guns and the whole nine. You see a living room with an L-shaped couch. They're screaming, whatever, SWAT, show us your hands. Police, show us your hands. There's a 22-year-old black kid sleeping under a blanket, wakes up, sees guys screaming crazy shit, reaches for his gun, picks up his gun. They fucking empty their magazines into him. They kill him. Wrong apartment. The kid has no criminal record. The gun is legally owned, and he has a concealed handgun license. Now, the kid's name is Amir something or other, and this story is going to go away. The BLM dude from Minneapolis is trying to whip something up about this. This story's going away. Minneapolis is fucked. I don't know what they're going to do about this. Remember, one cop puts handcuffs on one crackhead, a convicted felon, goes away for 20 years. You enter somebody's home unannounced in the middle of the night and shoot. This kid's not a dindu. He's like 100% legit kid. This is the fantasy of every black fucking activist of the last 75 years. They have it on video, murdering an innocent young black male who was doing nothing wrong, literally sleeping in his own apartment with a legally owned gun. And they fucking murdered this kid. But all that shit's going to go away. Why? Why is it going to go away? Because it brings up the issue of no-knock warrants. Does law enforcement have the right to enter your home without notice in the middle of the night with guns and shoot you? They don't want that question asked. No, they don't want that. No. So this kid, the one fucking legit fucking black kid who's not a fucking dindu, he gets fucking boom into the fucking wood chipper. He goes, forget this shit. Did the police have the right to enter your home unannounced with guns in the middle of the night while you're sleeping and shoot you if you try to resist? That's not a conversation anyone's gonna have. Joe Rogan dropped some N-bombs. Joe Rogan, N-bomb this and N-bomb this, ninja. Joe Rogan, the $100 million man, right? He's like, Joe Rogan's like this fucking tall. He smokes weed or used to smoke weed all the time. And he's on steroids. He's on testosterone. He's an announcer for the UFC, blah, 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 blah. Spotify, a Swedish company, paid him $100 million for his podcast. He became something of a lightning rod because he had some anti-vax people on. They all have the fucking whatever all the clips of him going ninja, this ninja, that ninja, right? They had it for years, They just decided to release it. And what did he do? He fucking apologized. He said, well, it looks bad even to me, blah, 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 blah. Fucking stop. He cucked. Here's the thing about fuck you money. By the time you get fuck you money, you don't have the balls to say fuck you anymore. Like Gavin McGinnis before him, who used to started Vice News and sold Vice News for I don't know how much fucking money. Tens of millions back in the day, 4 or 5 years ago. Joe Rogan's got $100 million. He could start his own podcast. He could broadcast from Elon Musk's Starlink internet all over the fucking globe. And he could put on legit fucking dissidents or people with fringe worldviews. And that ain't going to happen. You know why? Because he's a cuck. He wants to go to the UFC games. He wants to be an announcer still. He wants to be somebody. He has to go in like, yeah, I'm going to UFC 271. I'm going to, or whatever, and nobody stops him and everybody knows him. And, he gets his fizzy water or whatever the fuck he wants in his dressing room. Once you have fuck you money, you don't have the balls to say fuck you anymore. Although you should. Right? So once again, the incentive, wealth, money overrides everything. Even like I said, the Jews in Washington, D.C. versus the Jews in fucking Moscow, right? The Washington, D.C. Jews are going to crush the ones in Moscow, period, end of story. And the ones in Moscow are like, hey, Putin, save us. Are they going to go all in on Bitcoin? I don't know. Maybe not. I have no fucking idea. But Bitcoin is something that's not going to be stopped, right? Like I said, Putin fired the first shot across the bow of the US dollar. And is it fully priced in yet? No. But like I said, you can't price a fucking revolution. A bunch of stuff is going to happen. A lot of stuff is going to happen, some of which we don't expect. And it's all going to be good for Bitcoin. As annoying as that sounds, it's all good for Bitcoin. But if you don't see the world the way I see it, if you go, oh, no, wait, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to hedge my bets, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Okay, sit back, hedge your bets, and wait. That's great. That's totally fine. What is it? What do I got here? I saw that already. I showed that already. Did I do this? Yeah, here's one. Here's a perfect one. Because this is, once again, to just to hit the point of FUD, of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and how People who do not have your best interest at heart will try and fill your head with fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Okay. So what do we got here? We got a bunch of screenshots. 2014, Bitcoin falls to $400. 2018, Bitcoin falls to $4,000. 2022, Bitcoin falls to $40,000. And there's the screenshots, right? This is from February 3rd of this year. Do you understand? They know you only read the first few fucking letters. Oh, Bitcoin's fallen. Oh, it's a failure. It sucks. I should run away from that. I should have nothing to do with that. Except the number is always higher. Isn't that strange? It keeps falling upwards. Stop believing what they put in front of you, because what they put in front of you is not in your best interest. It's not in your best interest. Look at that exponential growth from 400 to 4,000 to $40,000. The next time you read Bitcoin falls, right? The next time you read Bitcoin falls, it's going to fall to $400,000, right? That's what you're going to read next time. And you're going to be like, yeah, what a failure that is. Geez, I knew it all along. That's how you're going to comfort yourself while you're living in a cardboard box, fighting with a fucking rat for, I wanted to get that picture. Oh, shit. Remember that video of the rat with the pizza in New York City subway? I love that. I fucking love that video. It was like the rats dragging a slice of pizza. It was like one of those viral videos. That you're going to be fighting with that rat over that slice of fucking pizza going, thank God I never did go all in on Bitcoin, and what am I going to, like, who do you have to blame? Only yourself for this sort of thing. You know what I mean? Only yourself. There's nothing else. There's no one else to blame, because I am literally shouting, like I'm shouting this from the rooftops. Like in saying it in as plain a language as I could possibly say it. And you could say, well, you're wrong. Well, history proves me right. Oh, well, and I don't care about your excuses, and no one else will either, right? Your children and your grandchildren won't fucking care. And well, again, when you're living in a cardboard box and when the price of food and everything else goes so high and you don't have enough money to buy it, and you have to go into debt to buy shit, because that's going to happen, right? The price of food, everything's going to go so fucking high, and your salary's not going to go up. You're going to have to go into debt to buy it, or you're going to steal it, right? Like I said, there's going to be enormous civil unrest. People are just going to smash windows, take the shit they want to fucking take. And that's going to happen for a while. And all these corporations are going to go, we can't stay in business like this. They're going to change the front of their stores. There won't be glass windows. There'll be screens that show you what's inside. Hey, we have this. Hey, we have, this here. We have this here. We have all this shit, right? But it's going to be a screen. And behind that screen is going to be concrete fucking slabs. And you won't be able to get in until you get scanned in with your fucking smartphone. So they'll know who came in. So whatever you take from that, take this off the shelf, take that off the shelf, and you run out. The way you see all these videos on fucking YouTube, these kids, these dopey gay Negroes stealing from Louis Vuitton and all these other fucking, and they're all homosexuals, these kids. They're skinny ass faggots, literally homosexuals, stealing from fucking Louis Vuitton and Chicago or whatever. But there'll be enormous number of people doing this at your local supermarkets, whatever, ShopRite, Stop and Shop, wherever you go. I don't know what the supermarket's called where you live. It'll just be, since you had to scan your phone in, they'll know what you took. You took this off the shelf, that off the shelf, the other thing off the shelf. And then they'll charge you for it. If you don't have enough money, you go into debt. You'll have to pay for, your salary is X. And you took X, so that's that. And then carbon credits will hit too. Carbon credits going to fucking hit. Tom Anderson in the chat. Tom Anderson, a big Northern Hobbs guy. You know what I mean? I may end up swinging the banhammer on you, Tom Anderson, because you are a friend of Northern the Fed Hobbs. He wasn't always a Fed, but it's a Fed now, and you can, you need to go hang out with him and Richard Spencer and Patrick Bateman, and you need to go be with your friends, because this is probably not the most receptive environment for you. Probably not. So you'll go into debt forever. The stores will change. You won't be able to get in. You won't be able to take a brick and throw it through the fucking window and hop in and steal everything in the store. They're going to change that. Are they going to change it tomorrow? No, but they're going to fucking change it. Right? And that's going to affect everybody. That's going to affect everybody. You don't think it's coming, but it's going to fucking come. Because it's not getting better. Nobody's going to fix this. Who proposes to fucking fix this in any way, shape, or form? Part of the problem when you adopt a set of ideas is that you can't think outside those ideas, right? And one of the things when I was a teenager, what's the guy? Robert Heinlein. A lot of people know Robert Heinlein, right? Starship Troopers, the movie was based off of a big novel of his from the 1960s. And then there was another one. What was the other one he did with Donald Sutherland, right? Donald Sutherland was a second Robert Heinlein movie that was about these aliens that they attached to your body and made you. It was like a sort of like a body snatchers thing, but different. They made that into a movie too. Can't remember what that one was called. But anyway, I read a bunch of shit by Robert Heinlein. Robert Heinlein had a book. It was about yay thick called Expanded Universe, which was not novels. It was novellas. It was some stuff he wrote under different names or whatever. It was a ton of stuff. And it was not uncommon, particularly in Starship Troopers, whereas there's the young, idealistic, I believe what the government tells me kid, like, hey, but our laws, our Constitution says blankety blank. And then the teacher says, oh, really, son? Well, what about, whatever. Fate puts some conundrum in front of the youth. And he's like, gee, I never thought about that. Yeah, I should go kill the bug men of whatever planet they're from. But he did stuff like this a few times. And there were arguments between characters in Heinlein stories where someone said, but it's in the Constitution. And the Heinlein, the elder character, would say, really? What is the Constitution? You go, oh, well, it's our laws and it's a social contract, blah, 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 blah. And then the elder character would say, did you sign this contract? And they go, well, no, it's the Constitution. It's in the museum. It's in Washington, D.C. and whatever. It's like, well, if you didn't sign this contract, how are you a party to this contract? Right? So that idea, like, did you agree to this? When I talk about corporate citadels, Bitcoin citadels, right? Where you're going to put up X amount of fucking Bitcoin to be part of a community, right? And there's going to be a list of rules that you're going to agree to. That's you signing the contract. See? That's an idea I read about when I was fucking 18 years old. Seamus Crawford, welcome to the show. Right? That's you signing the contract, right? But it's going to be a corporate thing where the corporation owns whatever, and you're going to live there, you're going to do whatever services, and you're going to put up real wealth, which is Bitcoin, not green pieces of paper issued by Zog, right? And you're going to have to play by the rules or else they'll kick you out. They'll take your Bitcoin and kick you out, okay? So that's authoritarianism, the likes of which you faggots could not begin to comprehend, right? Your level of authoritarianism is, gee, I wish Hitler comes back. You know what I mean? Gosh, Saddam Hussein was based, you have no fucking idea. It's still like you're still a child waiting for someone else to come do shit. You aren't going to make it, okay? The future is going to be very, very different. You're going to have to put up or shut up, and you don't get to come into this fucking space unless you meet these criteria and you obey these fucking rules. Now, you don't believe that that's true, but that's largely the way the elites work shit, and that's gonna come everywhere sooner or later. I don't know if it's going to happen in my lifetime, but that's what's going to have to happen because everyone's corrupt, everyone seeks unfair advantage, and the struggle for fucking dominance is going to be fucking ugly and extended. So that's why I tell you, don't hold pieces of paper, promissory notes that other fucking people issue to you. Seamus Crawford, I always arrived during one of these rants. Well, I don't know. You have your impeccable sense of timing, Senior Crawford. I said it earlier in the show. I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion of fucking blood sports. Luke Ford banned me. Nobody will fucking come near me because they know I'll fucking destroy them. I'll humiliate you. Like I said, I will fucking kill you in front of your entire audience. Not lying. And not only would you lose in the worst possible way forever on the internet, but you lose to a motherfucker who sounds as stupid as I do. You can't fucking face that. Luke Ford couldn't face that. Kyle couldn't face that. All these fucking people couldn't face that. So you just pretend I don't exist. Okay. I don't give a fuck. Right? Look at this. See this face? This is the face of a guy who doesn't give a fuck. I am smarter than you. My brain works faster than you and more honestly than you. And I see what the fuck the shape of things are. And I as much as I can make myself, I fucking I act appropriately, right? I act in accordance with what I understand, with what reality fucking demands. You think, oh no, I'll hang on to these green Zog bucks and they'll change them out for red Zog bucks when Ron DeSantis becomes president. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You believe in the promises of people thousands of miles away who don't know you. They aren't married to you. They're not blood related to you, right? And everything you have, they want to take from you. You know what I mean? And everything they have, they want to keep from you. But you think, no. All this fucking time, they're going to do the right thing. No, they're not. Be smarter than that. Be smarter than that. It's fucking scary. It's fucking scary as fuck. But, you really don't have a choice because the other side is scary as fuck too, except you have less. This way, at least you have something in the future. Right? Do I have any more screen shares? Do I have any more notes? What the fuck do I even have? Jewish SCOTUS, Aunt Jemima, yeah, I did that. Stephen J.J. James, yeah, SWAT kid in Minneapolis. Yeah, I don't know. That's largely it, right? That is, I think I've done almost everything I want to do, right? Seamus, you always arrive during the rants. Listen, I start out reasonable with everybody. I start out polite with everybody, but you act like a jerk off, and then I end up treating you like a jerk off, right? And oh, by the way, if anybody here, June, Seamus, Thomas Anderson, Paul, anybody know how to get hold of fucking Cultured Thug? Because he's over there on that fucking Killing Fields channel, which is a fair channel. And listen, I know he's a streetwise guy. He's been to prison twice and whatever. He's not going to jack himself up, but I think it would be useful to say, hey, here's what I think these people are doing, and let him make his own decisions, right? He's a guy who, in the terms of the red pill process, in terms of waking up to what you believe versus what the reality is, he's still working on that. And he does understand the financial angle. He does understand the money angle to everything. He understands the money angle to immigration and a bunch of other things. So if you know how to get in touch with Cultured Thug, either drop a fucking message in below or whatever, or give him the link to this fucking channel, because he seems like a smart guy, and there's no need for him to be jammed up. And I don't think he understands. I don't think he really appreciates that Norvin and these other guys are fucking, that he's like playing with fire. You know what I mean? Maybe he does. Maybe that's how he, gets his jollies these days. But play with fire and you're going to get burnt. You know what I mean? Seamus Crawford, yeah, I'll try to get him in contact with you, even though you hate me because of economics, which is dumb. I hate you because of economics. I don't. Seamus Crawford, you give yourself too much importance. I don't hate you. I hate you because of economics. What, you have a lot of money and I have a little money. You think I hate you because of that? I don't know. I hate people because of their behavior. Understand? Right? I deal with fucking black people all the time. And, I know they're fucking dindoos, and I know they're rapists, and I know they're murderers, and I know they all have STDs, and I know that 55% of them are on fucking welfare, right? I know that, and they know that too. But there are ones that, are fucking reasonable and decent and whatever. You got to fucking, there's the reality of you got to fucking get along with people, right? And, I'm not in a position where I can go, I'm just not in a position where I can do anything about this, right? And I couldn't do it. All of this has to fall apart first. And it's gonna, and it absolutely fucking will. But sticking your fucking thumb in the eye of everybody you fucking meet, at the end of the day, I hate behavior, right? I don't hate the Jews because they're fucking short, ugly, and don't eat bacon. I don't give a fuck. You're short, ugly, and you don't eat bacon, so who gives a shit? You know what I mean? That's your fucking tough luck. I hope you can make a good life. But, whatever. I hate you because of economics. That tells you nothing. That tells us nothing. You're a rich dude who comes. Are you like Richard Spencer? Are you slumming? Are you slumming on my channel? Are you so bored? Are you so bored in your fucking, in your, in your luxury lifestyle that you have to come here? You're like, gee, I have nothing better to do with my life. I'll go on James's channel and watch him hate me because of economics. I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. You probably have no fucking idea what you're talking about. You certainly can't defend that statement. So Putin says, listen, the USD ain't as strong as you think it is. I'm going to mine Bitcoin. Bitcoin rallies 17%. Coincidence? Yeah, I guess to you it is. But like I said, there are people figuring out that this is a Ponzi scheme, right? Right now they say there are, if Twitter is to be believed, 56 million people on the face of this earth who are millionaires, who have 1 million US dollars or more. I think the number is much higher. There's a lot of people who I know from the fucking taxi business have millions of dollars. They used to make $5 million a year, report $75,000 a year in income. So 56 million, but let's go with that figure. 56 million human beings on the face of this earth that are worth $1 million or more. Probably less than 50 of them actually own Bitcoin. So when they get to be like KPMG or Tesla or these other companies that go, hey, you know what? I don't want to hold all my wealth in US dollars. I want to hold it in something else. And that something else becomes Bitcoin. As more and more people do this, right now you have the opportunity to front run them. Whether you take that opportunity or not, I don't know. But you have the opportunity to front run them. And everything that I've shown you in this stream and other streams where they present to you FUD, Bitcoin's a religion, Bitcoin's crashed to 400, crashed to 4,000, crashed to 40,000, right? It keeps falling higher and higher, right? You keep believing what the people who hate you and want you dead tell you, then, like there's nothing I can do to snap you out of it. There's nothing I can do to snap you out of it. Sooner or later, you will fucking trade your labor or your goods for Bitcoin sooner or later, right? Like I said, I just suggest you do it sooner rather than later. Seamus Crawford in the chat. You're the one that got pissy with me because I think fiat currency works the other day. The other day or the other way? That's what I meant. Yeah, well, listen. Because I think fiat currency works the other day. Do you mean other way? I don't know. Yeah, it does work for the moment. It doesn't work as good as it did 20 years ago. It doesn't work as good as it did 50 years ago. You know what I mean? But it still works. Like I said, it still works. And while you still have the chance, I suggest you take the chance. But you don't want to do it. Again, stay with Zog. Stay with the boys at the Federal Reserve. Stay with Larry Fink and Janet Yellen. You know what I mean? Stay with Janet Yellen. Who's Jerome Powell, who just was convicted, who admitted to insider trading, and retired as head of the Federal Reserve. You stay with them. Stay with them. Absolutely. You know what I mean? They will somehow, when their head hits the pillow at night, they're going to think of you and sound money and all this shit. You know what I mean? Like, you go with that. Go with that. Trust in these people you've never met before, who are from an elite that hate you, and who control everything about, like, control the politicians, the fucking police, the jails, the army, the Navy, the CIA, the NSA, blah, 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 the Parent Teachers Association, the Boy Scouts of America, everybody, right? They control all of that with money one way or another. You go with them. I'm not saying you can't. You know what I mean? Listen to me. I'm not holding you here. No one's holding you here. You know what I mean? You want to leave? You want to go off into the fiat world? See ya. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the fucking way out. That's what I meant the other day on stream. Yeah, I don't know. You're not 100%. How does fiat currency work? James Crawford in the chat, write how you think fiat currency works or doesn't work or whatever. That's not 100% clear what you wrote. You think it works. It does work for the moment, right? But every time you go to the gas pump and it takes more dollars to buy the same gallon of gas you bought a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, it means the currency is not working as well. And you have no influence over how that happens other than to quickly get rid of that currency and trade it for something better. Most people can't buy commercial real estate. Most people can't buy farmland. Most people can't buy, whatever, asset class items, bonds, stocks, etc. Most people can't do that. So I suggest what you can do, right? You can buy $50, $100, $300, $1,795 worth of fucking Bitcoin. You can't buy $1,795 worth of farmland. You can't buy, $87 worth of a stock of Tesla, right? Because that's like a $3,000 stock. You can't do that. And you can't do that weekly. So what I'm suggesting is something different, an alternative strategy for protecting your wealth, right? And your time on this earth that you spend producing goods or services. That's my suggestion. You can go do something else if you want. Like I said, you want to trust Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen and the crew at the Federal Reserve? Cheers. Cheers. You should go check out a YouTube channel called The Killing Fields. You know what I mean? It's got Norman Hobbs and Patrick Bateman on it. You'll like it. You'll probably sign up to drive a van full of explosives into the nearest synagogue, after your third episode, and then employees of the federal government will make you a guest of the state for the rest of your life. But hey, you rock on with that. You rock on with that. You know what I mean? On this channel, I never said a bad word against fucking Norman Hobbs. I used to say nice things about him all the time. But now that I see what it really is, then this is what it really is. You know what I mean? I don't base it on, he said something mean about me, or it's based on behavior. right? It's based on behavior. There are two incentives in this world. Do what I want you to do, and I'll give you a reward. Do what I don't want you to do, I'll punish you. Those are the only two incentives in human existence ever. So who controls those incentives, and what are people's incentives to do what they do? Everything else is bullshit. When you understand that, when you view the world that way, the world is a lot clearer and easier to manage. It's not comfortable. It's not always fun, but it's easier in the sense that you understand what you have to do next. Okay. It's not like questioning, should I do this? Should I do that? There's no uncertainty. There's clarity. And that's what a lot of this is about, a lot of this is about showing you in a clear way what you should do, but you still got to take those steps. You know what I mean? I don't take no credit for anything you did. Anyway, with that, where are we at? We're like an hour, 27 minutes. An hour, 27 minutes. We went through cooking. We went through Minneapolis. We did screenshots. We got Seamus Crawford butthurt in the comments. We banned Bob Paxson. I think I threatened to ban Tom Anderson, but I don't know if I can. I got to find, see if I can make it. What if I just hit, where is it? What if I click over there? What can I do? Put user in timeout. Oh, block user. Watch this. Doing. And he's gone. Because he's a friend of, he's always on Northern channels. You want to be with the feds? Be with the feds. You're not going to be here. You know what I mean? Like I've described in terms of a consensus community, you're here 100%, or you could be somewhere else. You literally, no one keeping you here. No one. I didn't handcuff you to the computer. You can click off on the screen anytime. You can go somewhere else anytime. Anytime. Right? I'm not asking for you to fucking share this video. Like I said, when I started this, the last video got 60 views. I got 49 subscribers. So that makes me think I'm going to get more subscribers. And then what's going to happen? Somebody's going to go, you said didn't do nothings. You said chopstick Americans. You said tortillas Americans, or you said whatever. And then I'm gonna write to fucking YouTube. He said hate speech. He called Spanish people tortilla Americans. He said black women are like fat-assed Aunt Jemima, Nicki Minaj. Where's my done claws done did? Where's my Popeye chicken sandwiches? Like, you can't say that. Like, sooner or later that's going to happen, and I'm going to start another fucking channel. I'm not looking forward to that. It's probably inevitable. Probably that's going to happen. But in the meantime, I would prefer this not get too widely spread that far around. Really. Really. I would prefer, much prefer, I would much prefer to talk to 35 or 40 people who want to hear what I have to say than to talk to 400 people who don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if I can have a little influence, I will have a legit little influence. But June is fun while it lasts. Yeah, well, whatever. Like, listen, here's the thing. I don't know if you're following me on Twitter or whatever, or Gab, if you follow on multiple platforms, when I restart things, you could just join in again. Like, you missed a couple of weeks, whatever. But what the fuck am I saying different this week than I said last week? A couple of things, but not a whole lot. Anyway, it's almost midnight here. It's almost midnight. It's about time for the fucking carriage and the horses to turn into a pumpkin and mice. Cinderella time is coming up close. I'm going to say thank you to June for the food conversation, Seamus for the emotional content, Tom Anderson I blocked. What's his name? Paxson I blocked. And that's that. You don't need to be here. You really don't need to be here. You know what I mean? You could be elsewhere. You could be somewhere better than this. And your contribution, you might want to weigh it differently than you think you do, right? Um, and I listen. If you want to battle, you want to go, you want to get in the ring and go 12 rounds with me, let's fucking go. You know, um, let's go. Because like it sound like I'm breaking my arm, patting myself on the back, but I am the undisputed heavyweight champion of this shit. So, with that, I will do the best. I will drive safer when I get my $106 steel fucking rim for a 16-year-old fucking Toyota. I will drive much safer, June, than I have been driving. It won't be safer, it'll just be less annoying. There won't be that for fucking 12 hours at a clip. Boy. I thought I was tough enough to stand it, but I could just get worn down. I got worn down by the psychological warfare of a steel object that is less than perfectly round. Oh, well. Okay, guys. Listen, cheers to everyone. Thanks for showing up. And I'll talk to you guys next week. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, listen, smash the like button, smash up the buy button on Bitcoin, because every government is a bunch of worthless scumbags, and they're going to fuck you. So don't let them do that. All right. Good night, everybody.